Um, had a really upbeat, spirited, helmeted practice today. Been very pleased with how well this team has practiced in our helmets situation. A lot of young teams sometimes, get in a helmeted practice and they think it's a walkthrough, and they don't practice as fast or as focused as they should. But we've had a couple of helmeted practices here recently that have been very, very pleased with the effort and focus and concentration. And that's something that's so good. It allows you during the season to have those Thursday practices where you can, not beat on their bodies that close to kickoff, but still get a lot of work done. So good day today. A couple of solid days since we last saw each other. We're looking forward to tomorrow. I know that all the kids they're ready to go tomorrow. They're talking plenty to each other, so it should be a lot of fun out there.
Okay, we'll open it up to questions for Coach Houston.
Coach, can you talk about the progress, again, of your backup quarterbacks, how they're looking so far, and how that lineup is beginning to shape up behind Holton?
Right. Well, I think we're trying to figure out who number 2 is. Right now, probably Mason Garcia and Alex Flynn are the 2 that are maybe a touch ahead of the others as far as, working for that backup role. Stubblefield has done some good things here in the last week or so as well. So Taji out a little bit and just not coming back. So, things are shaping up there. Got to figure it out. Got 2 weeks.
Coach, in the scrimmage tomorrow, is it 1s against 1s, 2s against 2s, that kind of?
Yeah, it's 1s against 1s, 2s against 2s. We are going to have live special teams work. We're going to play it game regulation, meaning I don't really have a script for tomorrow's scrimmage. We're going to play the ball wherever it lands, kind of alternate, which unit is the 1s, depending on, the situation and who's going. And try to get as close to a game as possible. Let the officials handle everything, and then try to simulate some of the late game scenarios that we've been working on so much this week.
Coach, can you take us through at least some of the best position battles on the offensive line at this point? Are things pretty competitive up there? Yeah,
it's the good and the bad. We've had some guys miss some time with the virus throughout preseason camp. That's not good. But what it has forced us to do is play a lot of guys in a lot of different positions. And so virtually everybody on the offensive line has played multiple positions for extended periods of time. So we have been able to create some depth that way. As far as what our starting 5 is, I couldn't say that right now. Obviously Deontay is, I think, one of the better tackles in the league. So I think he's, no doubt he's going to be starting somewhere. Probably at left tackle. Nashad Strother, another guy that I think has had just a really solid camp, going to be somewhere. We just got to figure out where the other pieces are. I think Fernando has, really had a solid camp at center. But then the guys like Justin Chase, Bailey Malovic, Sean Bailey, Noah, all those guys where they factor in, Trent Holler. There's just lots of flexibility with where they can play. And so what you do is you just figure out what your best 5 is, and you have guys to back them up that can play multiple different spots.
Coach Houston, game day, will you go to a hotel in town as usual, or how will things change in that regard?
We're going to try as much as we can to create a bubble from our Friday test on. So, we're testing 3 times a week. We'll be testing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That should guarantee as much as possible that you're going to have nobody inside that travel party group that is tested positive. And we're going to try as much as we can to keep them from having any outside contact with anyone. So we will be at a hotel. We're going to have very strict procedures and protocols with travel to the hotel and operation around the hotel. It's going to be unlike any other season that we've ever had. But we do feel like we can create that in the last 24 hours before kickoff.
mentioned the quarterbacks earlier. When you look at these scrimmages, the running backs as well. I mean, on offense, is the area where you have so much depth.
Right.
Is that good to see during these scrimmages, and you see guys step up, and it's important for your offense as a whole?
Right. I mean, the running back room is a great example. The competition is just it's outstanding right now. You have multiple guys that are performing at a high level, and they're bringing out the best in each other. Darius Penix is practicing as well as he ever has, but he has to because there's so much competition in that room. It's like one of them will have a huge play or a huge day, and then you blink, and then 2 plays later, another one, has a huge play, or the next day, another one has a huge day. And so there's just such competition in that room. It's really bringing out the best in everyone. And I think you're seeing that, like I said, at the offensive line. I think you're seeing that you will see that more and more, I think, at the quarterback position as we go on throughout the season, and especially as we go on throughout the years. But you definitely see it in the running back room.
Coach, given everything going on, and obviously, don't want anybody on the staff to get sick, but have you guys established some sort of contingency plan if a play caller gets sick, who would be the backup and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, we did that this summer. Just kind of talked through some scenarios of, being prepared for position coaches, coordinators, Big John and myself. And I don't know if I can figure out some way to do what Coach Freeze did up at Liberty and coach remotely or something, but it's what we got to do. And the thing we talked about at the end of practice today is you're getting to where you're just over 2 weeks from kickoff. It is so imperative that we protect each other, and it's all of us. We all have to be so careful away from each other, so that when we're together, we're not putting anybody at risk. But we have contingency plans for just about anything you can think of.
Are there any further questions for Coach Houston? Okay, Coach, thank you very much.
All right. I think we're seeing each other tomorrow. Is that right?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Okay. You guys have a good night. See you tomorrow.
See you, Coach.